In the university, you can do the same for lots of people in the university. Just show the film. And this is very easy activity and very highly impact activity. Okay? So we have to think also, how can we do the awareness easily with high impact and low effort? This is the minimum, and this is a good activity. Then we could do like experiment day. We can invite communities, we can invite all the students with an open day for individual resilience awareness. And we have the classes, and we have like always 3 or 4 people helping with the classes, and we have a day, open day, a week, open week, whatever. And this could come many people just trying, and this
of impact of the center. I guess those 3 things that we would like to do it this coming 2 months, the next 2 months. Right. Thank you.
Thank you. But people, the communities, etc.,
yes,
about
yes.
what the knowledge that we are developing and to involve them in this activity.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Get there, so we can discuss. The local community also know that, okay, what we are going to do if it's happen, or if it can happen, they know. Because if we just talk in our level, it's too far. So we have to need to bridge how the communication that we know now, we keep now, can be shared. That's the important thing. So we should consider like public activity, communal activity, things like that, that is possible for local people. Second one, we are in North Maluku, not like in Java or in Sumatra, that the internet connection sometimes is very limited. So we also should thinking how the best way to deliver, to disseminate information. And it could be not perfect, I don't know, but it could be like face-to-face talking or something, that's face-to-face meeting. So people will know we are living in what you call ring of fire, and it's very potential.
That audit trail of what you've done, in particular when it comes to buying equipment and then spending all the money, must be demonstrated. So I'd just like to say congratulations, because I think there's a very good presentation and some good feedback. But we must understand how as well, and you must understand how you're going to assure yourselves that you're doing the right thing through the necessary reporting and governance.
Okay. The other thing that I wanted to say, and we're going to have some more discussions about this at an appropriate point of time, possibly in November, because I will need to liaise with colleagues from President University before we can have a closer conversation about this, is the question of branding. Because I see that every institution has set up their own center of excellence, which is brilliant, and they are all named differently. They are all integrated into the institutions, and this is what should be the case. And I've seen that some of the centers also are very clearly linked to the BUILD project. So we've seen that in the centers that we have visited so far, which is again brilliant. The one thing that we do need to have,
the resilience framework should have. Then of course, in order to function as a centre of excellence, we must understand what the operations and the processes are around delivering that capability. And I don't mean a 24/7 necessarily, someone sitting at the big screens, because I know we don't have that technology. But it's the ability to run the centre on a daily basis, what that looks like. It's the governance associated with that and the reporting, the assurance that the centres of excellence must give to the universities that they are delivering what is needed to be delivered on a daily basis. And some of the processes around that. For instance, the risk management process, the reporting, whether that's going to be on a weekly, a monthly basis, how...
Great. Because we have, or you all have, I have to say I have had very little involvement in this activity. You have worked together with Neil on collating a repository of the research that exists in different institutions. And really, what we would like to do now is to use this opportunity to just remind ourselves of the scope and the breadth and the diversity of expertise that exists across the consortium. So thank you very much to everybody who has collated a poster and brought it here. And I've just had a look at the reflection, or basically the scope of studies that are reflected here, and also the subject areas. And I think it's absolutely amazing what kind of expertise in the broad area of disaster management has been generated. So what I would like to do now is to give every institution
so these are the areas that we'll focus on in Muhammadiyah Bali University. This title from the faculty in Muhammadiyah Bali University, such as academic faculty, and then teacher training education also, and then it's like nine faculties involved in this articles, US articles. That's all. Thank you.
Actually, our challenge will be is the data mining. We have about this, right? But I think what we need to do in the next step is to create a repository for faculty members, because so far what we have is like what Universitas Andalas had, you know, student repository on the focus on the students' thesis and student work, right? But what we plan to do is actually to create a bank of experts, where if someone or some institution wants to do a partnership with us, and there's a questions what expertise in the area of disaster, then we can just point to people who, you know, has shown the capacity. I guess that's things that I want to add.
Thank you, Bakri.
Yeah, well, actually, the research that we have done here have been published on the either national journal or international journal. So yeah, we clustered our research in Universitas of Hairun through 4 sections. So the first one is disaster potential, which consisted of the selected paper that we displayed here, and then the second one is vulnerability, adaptation, and resilience, consisted of 3 selected papers that have been published in the international and national journal already. And the third one is the community and disaster preparedness. Is still related to the topic of the issue that we are having. And the last one is disaster management and monitoring.
Good afternoon, everyone. Okay, I'm Otomi from UAD. I want to present about the research on disaster management in UAD. In UAD, we classified or we categorize the research on disaster area into 3 research areas. Actually, the first one is disaster health management. The second one is disaster education, and the fourth is disaster psychology. Actually, we also have one more, science and technology on disaster management. So in disaster health management, the topic of the research focuses on developing instruments to measure hospital disaster resilience Assessing Hospital Resilience in Indonesia, and also Reproductive Health in Disasters. There are many publications that we publish either in national journal and also international journal. The results of the research from disaster health management, that the key attribute for hospital emergency and disaster management are emergency and disaster management coordination, response and disaster recovery and evacuation,